Hello, Madeline here, and this video is going to be about Ethel Smyth's The Clown, words by Maurice Baring. Ethel Smyth was born in the UK in 1858. She attended the Leipzig Conservatory, where she met other composers like Grieg, Dvorak, and Tchaikovsky. She left Leipzig after becoming disillusioned with their method of teaching and began studying privately with Heinrich von Herzogenberg. Despite criticisms of her work, Smyth was the first female composer to have her work performed at the Metropolitan Opera. In 1910, Smyth joined the Women's Social and Political Union. She wrote the March of the Women, and it became the anthem of the women's suffrage movement. She also became the first female composer to receive a damehood from the British government. Maurice Baring was an English poet who worked as a war correspondent during World War I. Despite his serious demeanor and job, Baring's work was full of humor. In 1913, after Smyth returned to composing full-time, she wrote a set of 3 art songs, the first of which is The Clown. They were probably translated into German because of Smyth's connection to Leipzig, but it's also possible that Smyth intended these songs as Lieder because the clown is sung from the perspective of a narrator, which is a common trope in German Lied.
There was once a poor clown all dressed in white and chained to the dungeon bars, and he danced all day and he danced all night to the sound of the dancing stars. Oh clown, silly clown, oh why do you dance? You know you can never be free. You are tied by the leg to the strings of chance, yet you dance like a captive flea. My chain is heavy, my cell is dark. I know I can never be free. In my heart, there's a dancing spark, and the stars make music for me. Oh, muffle my sail and rivet my chains, and fetter my feet and my hands. My soul is a rose of foam without rings, that dances on deathless sands. My soul is a horse of foam that dances on deathless sands. My soul is a horse of foam without rings that dances on deathless sands. That dances on deathless sands. On deathless sands. My soul is a horse of foam without reins that dances on deathless sands. Oh, muffle my sail and rivet my chains, and fetter my feet and my hands.
The work begins in a lilting 6/8 time, which implies the light-hearted and jokiness of the clown. The figures in the piano are leaping and plodding, which is supposed to mimic the dancing of the clown. Although the key is E Dorian, it comes off as a more exotic minor because the vocal line doesn't really acknowledge the C sharp until the end of the section. In this B section, the accompaniment goes to this dotted rhythm that's used intermittently throughout the piece. The sudden shift to A major right here feels a little weird, but might have been used to call attention to the fact that the narrator is talking directly to the clown and no longer narrating a story. At measure 19, I couldn't really find a way to label this because the notes used are B, C sharp, D sharp, E sharp, F sharp, G, and A, which is do, re, mi, fi, sol, la, te. I can't really explain away the G because it's the downbeat of measure 21. However, it's possible that D sharp is the important note and the accompaniment is just outlining tritones on either side of it with the G and the A. The section's lyrics here are, "You are tied by the leg to the strings of chance, yet you dance like a captive flea." This is the most discordant part of the song, and it indicates how trapped the clown feels. So I think that's why she's choosing to use this sort of chromatic harmony. The next A section is the clown's response, and it's broken up harmonically. E Dorian when the clown's talking about his entrapment, and E major when he says, "In my heart there's a dancing spark and the stars make music for me." So like classic earlier sadness from the beginning about his entrapment, but when it comes into E major, he's talking about something happy. The phrase ends with these blue notes, like the F natural and the D natural I've circled. I think this is meant to indicate the clunky dancing of the clown, like how he's not perfect, but it's, it still just comes from a place of joy. I think this Neapolitan chord is really important because it kind of gives this heroic feeling to what the clown is saying, and it provides a good transition to the next section. He insists that no matter how enchained he is, his soul will still be free, like a horse of foam that dances on deathless sands. Through this section, the clown reiterates over and over, passing through harmonies to land on C minor. This section basically leads up to the climax of the piece at measure 62, and after the climax, the melody line begins a calmer phrase that descends not only in pitch but also in key. First E major, D major, and C major, and then again, but with D minor. As the piece reaches its quietest moment, we revert back to E major. After one more reiteration, Smyth includes a coda of some previously sung words from the Braveheart section. And this 9/8 measure near the end is the only meter change in the entire song, which I think might indicate the big finish of the clown's dance or whatever, and then I think the rest is sort of outro, but yeah, this is the clown finishing his song. So that concludes my video. Thanks for watching.